Hi everybody, this is Shane R. Monroe, and today we're going to be looking at the Mamut product Halo Stealth. These are protective covers for your Oculus Quest or your Oculus Rift S controller. And these are a Swedish-based company that put these guys together. I like their products a lot. Obviously, I've got them on my Quest controllers already. But with a lot of more high-impact games going on, a lot more people are hurting or even destroying their controllers, their touch controllers. So we're going to take a look at these and see what we think about them, see how they affect maybe the weight of the game, the weight of the controllers, and how you play the game. So let's just open these guys up here. As usual, they produce a little QR code on the back for you to scan for the manual to how to install. I'm hoping these are self-explanatory, but we'll find out. So it comes in box. All right. So let's take a look at these guys. Always something stuck to my hands in these videos. All right, so here we go. Looks like they're all in one piece, right? So you don't have to detach them or break them apart. They look like they just simply clip right on. Getting a good view of those? Seem to be, you can see some machine cuts there. So these are about $15, by the way. So if you're looking for some, $40, $50, Apple version of these things, that's not these guys. These guys definitely feel, looking at the inside, they feel fine. So let's go ahead and just throw them on. Now, one thing that I am concerned with is how does it affect my ability to use the Mamut grips? So we're gonna go ahead and just pop one of these guys off.
If I would assume, the thin side probably goes where the Velcro is.
So if we take a look here, I'm guessing, I'm not going to go look at the manual. I'm just going to guess based on the configuration of this stuff.
That probably would make sense.
Pops right on. As you can see, there's a clearance here. So the first thing that I'm going to be concerned with is, as you can see, there are holes in strategic locations, which of course are where the tracking items are. Are you seeing any light coming out of the holes at all? Do you see anything via the camera? Because you can't see them with your eye. No,
I don't.
So the fact that these actually rotate quite a ways, actually, I'm assuming that if we center up against here, that we will be able to still have our tracking ring lights showing up through here. And so that's what's really important. It's kind of interesting to look at these two and see what Oculus decided to choose for how the light orientations are on here. I thought that's kind of interesting. And I didn't actually look to see if they designate a left or right. I don't believe they do.
Try putting it on with the Velcro. Does it just slip on just as easily?
It might. It's a good idea. Part of this, though, is I would not want to put it on over top of the Velcro. I'd want
it's upside down.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sure?
I think.
No.
Huh? No.
So it looks like it'll go over top. I don't know if I would want to do it that way, though, because that would remove the whole idea that this comes off easily.
Oh yeah, the Velcro could also keep it on easier if you Velcro over the grip. And I think the Velcro area is over a non-tracking spot. I think that's why they made the Velcro like that.
All right, so there we go. Here's where the other one is. And so I'm going to kind of compare and contrast here. So it looks like they're cut identical. So I would assume based on that fact, it doesn't matter which side they go on. So we have a large area here, small, small, larger, larger. So yeah, it looks like they're all symmetrical on either side, and it doesn't seem to matter which way you put them on. So based on that, if I was going to go ahead and put this back on, obviously when it was on before, it wasn't blocking any tracking. And if it was, it did not affect me. But let's make sure that these products are overall compatible. Okay, that seems to be okay. So if it was blocking a sensor or an IR emitter before, then it's going to block it now. So that looks good. So just go ahead and slide this guy back on too.
I'm sure they tested it to make sure it didn't block any sensors.
I would assume so too. Why would you make your own product incompatible with your other product, right?
Mm-hmm.
But listen, it's happened before.
Hasn't?
Not with these guys, though. This also seems to kind of snug this ring up a little bit, too, which is good. All right, there we go. So now it's in place, and it's not moving anymore, by the way, since that Velcro wrapped around. This is no longer rotating back and forth. So before you put that Velcro back on, you might want to make sure you're kind of symmetrically placed in here. There we go. So hitting your things together is not going to be quite such a big deal. I'm obviously not going to do any sort of stress test because these are just $70 a piece. But for incidentals like scuffs and scrapes, it's quite thick. I don't know how well you can see how this added thickness to the ring, but there are definitely raised endpoint areas, right? Common areas. For those of you who've actually taken a closer look, and I'll pull this apart one more time because I think it's worth looking at. There are multiple locations on the Oculus Touch controller that are designated sort of weak spots that we found as a community are the first places ready to fracture. And you can see there are seams, like right here. This is a very common seam that breaks for people. And I'm not sure what impact causes that. But if you look around here, there are seams along the Halo controller, the Touch controller. There's one there. There's one there.
I think how they fracture them is swinging down, maybe like on Beat Saber, because if you have to get those close quarters, you can smack the bottom against the other controller.
That's definitely one possibility. I mean, I've seen people taking out their TVs, the lights over their heads.
It's because they don't wear straps. Yeah,
I don't know what the deal is with that. People do not play VR responsibly sometimes. Now, will this help you in that case? Depends on how irresponsible you are. So just like any other piece of protective gear, this isn't going to guarantee you or ensure that you don't break these things. What it will do, though, is keep the scuffs off. Hopefully, these raised areas will also start taking some impact. So if we put this guy on, let's take a look at sort of how they constructed this. Notice that the impact areas down here are devoid of raised tips, right? Because that's really, you're not going to end up hitting that against something, right? The impact areas are around the edges, which actually completely makes sense, and along the top where there's a better chance of impact. I would imagine too, from a weight point of view, if you drop these guys, they're going to fall this direction. I mean, I don't know how far they would fall, but the weight would definitely indicate to me that if you dropped one of these things, it would immediately try to fall towards the heavier handle. But I could definitely see where this could, from a top point of view, that could prevent, I mean, you can see it kind of bounces, right? So I think that this will help. I don't think this is proof against a violent Echo VR session, but I think every little bit helps, and I think these are pretty good. And again, they're $15. It's not a huge investment. Now, the real question will be is putting these in the field and making sure that all of these are aligned correctly. There's a lot of play, so I imagine that even if I don't see the IRs illuminated, that I'll be able to slightly rotate this one way or the other. And thanks to having this extra Velcro on here, I'd be concerned if you did not have this on, if you were just using these as a regular controller, that this turns very easily. And if there's, I mean, I could easily see this blocking blocking the emitters and causing problems. So actually, this is a really good pairing to be able to have something to secure it down. If you have your own other brand of straps that reach around the ring that tighten down on them, I'm sure that they will work just as well. But if you're not using something like this, if you're not using some sort of a knuckle grip of some sort that wraps around here to hold these on, I think that this usefulness may be lesser, or this thing will drift as you're using it, and that will probably upset a lot of people because it'll block the rings. But anyway, we'll follow up with this after we have a chance to put it to the test in the field and make sure that the lights are blocked and it does not negatively affect our ability to play and track. And we'll post another video soon. In the meantime, just a reminder, we're looking at the Mamut Halo Stealth. Wow, is that really that difficult to say? Mamut Halo Stealth protectors. These are called shock absorbers for the Rift S and the Oculus Quest. They're about $15. They come from Sweden, so you can't get them overnighted from Amazon. So if you want these guys, you better plan ahead. Take a couple of days to get here. And they're nice little quality products. We're going to put them to the test and we'll follow up. This is Shane R. Monroe. Please follow the channel here. Go ahead and hit that little notification bell. You'll get all these videos and tons more. Big thanks. This is our first video after crossing 1,000 subscribers. So thanks for tuning in, and your support is much appreciated. Thanks for watching.